If you ever find a traffic light in the forest, do not move when it turns red. Just before my 11th birthday, my grandfather took me on a 2-day hunting trip deep in the northern woods. It was the same place he had gone his entire life. The forest smelled like old pine and wet moss. He said it was good ground for deer. That morning was perfect. The sky was pale blue. The air was cold enough to sting your lungs. We walked slowly down the trail. My grandfather pointed out birds through his binoculars and named them like old friends. Around noon, we found late-season lingonberries and filled a small tin cup. Everything felt calm, normal. A few hours later, we met another hiker coming toward us. My grandfather greeted him by name. The man was older. Red jacket, kind face. They started talking about fishing spots and timber prices, things I didn't care about. The sun was getting low. Orange light filtered through the branches. I wanted to find a place to camp before dark, so I told them I would go ahead and look for a clearing. My grandfather nodded and told me not to go far. The forest was quiet, just wind and distant birds. I pushed through some pine branches and found a small clearing. That's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a dead tree. Tall, thin, rust-colored. Then I realized it was metal. A rusted pole stood among the trees. On top of it was a traffic light. The lenses were cracked. Moss covered the housing, and inside it a light flickered, green, weak, fading in and out like a heartbeat. There were no roads anywhere near us, no wires, no buildings, just a traffic light in the forest. I thought my grandfather would find it funny. I ran back and told him I found something strange. He humored me and followed. The other man came too. When we reached the clearing, the traffic light was still there. I pointed at it. "Do you think there used to be a road here?" I asked. My grandfather didn't answer. I turned around. All the color had drained from his face. His eyes were locked on the light. The other man looked confused. Then the green light changed. Yellow. My grandfather moved instantly. He grabbed me and pulled me tight against his chest. "Don't move," he whispered. His voice was shaking. Then he shouted at the other man, "Stand still, don't move a muscle." The forest went silent. No birds, no wind. I could feel my grandfather's heart pounding. "What's going on?" the man asked. I heard him step forward, maybe once, maybe twice. Then he screamed. It started sharp, then turned into something animal, long, broken, echoing through the trees. Then it stopped. My grandfather flinched but didn't let go. The air smelled like metal. A low hum surrounded us. My hair lifted like electricity was building. We didn't move, not until a bird called somewhere far away. My grandfather slowly let go of me. He stumbled and sat down on a rock. His legs were shaking. I looked back at the traffic light. It was green again. We walked away. My grandfather told me to keep my eyes closed. I didn't listen. I glanced down as we passed. There was no body, just a pile of clothes, burned, still smoking. The grass around it was dark red. We ended the trip that night. We never spoke about it on the drive home. Over the years, I asked my grandfather what he saw when the light turned red. He refused to answer. The man we met that day is still listed as missing. I think my grandfather knows exactly what that traffic light does. I've thought about going back, but I haven't. Not yet.